Hi there, this is Rich Groff from RG Performance Sales Coaching and Leadership Development. Today I'm responding to one of my video comments that I received on one of my other videos with somebody that had some great questions about, producing good quality solid leads as you're going through the sales cycle. Today we're going to talk about attracting solid sales leads. So how do you attract a solid sales lead? Well, it's really important to understand about what the process is. So let's have a little discussion about the process. If you're turning around and you're doing anything in sales, it's going to be one of two things that you're going to show up and do. It's going to be like this. You're either going to turn around, you're going to do some prospecting. That's something that you're actively doing, or you're going to do some marketing. Either one of those are things that you're actively doing. And whatever you're doing, still the same process applies. One means you're sending out a brochure and you're waiting for people to respond back to you. The second one is you're actually picking up the phone, or you're contacting people, or networking, or you're physically doing something yourself. But what happens here in this process is people will turn around and take advantage of your marketing material, or they're going to bump into you, and they're going to turn around, and from there they're going to make some decisions about what they're doing. So you're going to turn around and you're going to have prospecting and marketing, and that's going to go to a place where you're talking with somebody, or you're attracting with them, and you're going to be turning around and getting to the place where they're talking with you. We call that getting their attention. Typically, you've got very short period of time before you can miss somebody. So you've got about 3 seconds really to get somebody's attention if you're picking up a marketing piece. So you think about it from your own perspective. If you have something dropped off at your home, you'll pick it up, you'll take a look at it, you'll analyze the colors, but there has to be something there that's going to get you and get your attention going, so it gets you to the place where you'll read anymore. From that particular perspective, if you get your attention, you're going to probably read to see what happens. If not, they're not going to work forward through that. So you have to have some attention getting. So how do you do that? Well, you have to have this thing in marketing where you do something that's logical as well as something that may be emotional. Having the two in blend actually gets people's attention. So let me give you an example. Having something that's normal, that people will go, yeah, I recognize that and understand what that is, and then twisting it in some way, shape, or form. Great example. I had a real estate agent one time that turned around and he took his face and he put it on a brochure. And like most people in that industry, they like to have, let people know what they look like so that they can get some confidence in what they're doing and approaching that individual. So he turned around and took that, and then he put it through his computer, and he had a program on there where he put a swirl on his face so it looked kind of cartoonish. And on the bottom of it, he put not just another pretty face. So here you've got a mugshot of somebody, if you will, a picture profile of someone that's kind of all twisted. And on the back, he turned around and put his real picture. So what happened was he became known in that particular farm area as the guy with not the pretty face. He went around door knocking after that and knocked on people's doors, and it got to the place where even the children would know that he was not just another pretty face, because it entertained people and got their attention. Getting people's attention is important. Now, from getting people's attention, there's going to be a call to action, something's going to happen, and you're going to get some results. So when we talk about results, you're going to get a series of people contacting you. And hopefully you'll have enough that you can keep track of them. So every particular call that you get, every particular inquiry that you get, I want you to turn around and write it down on a piece of paper, because it's highly valuable. You want to write down, did they qualify? What was their profile? You'd want to find out when they contacted you. What we know is that there's certain things that take a certain amount of time. So if you have a billboard, it's going to affect a certain area. And you'd want to pinpoint exactly where those people are coming from, because it'll tell you the demographics of that person. Now, if the results are not what you want, so they're not your ideal client, what you want to do is you want to turn around and see how it works, because you've got not your ideal client and you've got some results, and you've got to go backwards up here to see what you're doing. See who you're attracting. If you're attracting people that are really off the core of who you want to be working with, you've got to know that there's something in your marketing that is telling them that they can call you and they can get some answers, or that you may be able to help them. So you have to change your wording on your marketing. You have to target the key areas and the key people that you want to be working with. So the example that I've got on this particular page right now, as you're watching this video, is the individual that contacted me here said he was a mortgage broker, I believe, and he was getting a lot of marketing that was coming back to him that were for people that did not qualify at all. They had no way of qualifying, poor credit or something of that nature. And those individuals must have found something in his marketing piece that would have told them that they could have got some answers. Maybe it was a word, maybe it was implied expression, maybe it was strictly because of his vocation. I'm not sure without seeing the marketing piece, but usually there's a reason that you're attracting those. Now, will you ever get it so that you will not attract what I would call qualified ideal prospects? No. You're going to attract a good mix, but what you want to do is you want to start targeting so you're getting better quality leads all the time. Now that's the key thing about leads. Better quality means that you're going to probably convert more of those into what I call ideal prospects. So, having a lead is one thing, but if it's not the right lead for you and it's not something you can work with going forward, or it's not your target market, you got to really kind of question how you managed to get that far. And so you want to bring it backwards. Now, what do you need to know about marketing? Marketing is really not that complicated in the big scheme of things, but the nuances or the little things can really make it quite difficult, and that's why everybody struggles with it. The bottom line is this, is you're going to be actually doing some action. Then you're going to want to turn around and you're going to want to qualify your prospect. And usually we do that with questions. And then from there, you're going to get more ideal prospects, and that's going to get you the results that you want, assuming that you can go through the sales process and actually convert those to actually bona fide buyers, which is awesome. Here's the thing about action. If you're in action, that's awesome. You got to be doing something. If you're not doing anything, probably not going to get any results. That's just kind of common sense. So most of us got to do something. So whether you're at a networking event and you're shaking a hand, or whether you're turning around and you're going out and sending a flyer, or you're sending it into a specific farm area, there are different statistics for each one of those types of things. So you want to know what you can expect out of that kind of response. Sometimes you get instant responses and they're wonderful. Other times you don't. And it takes a little while to build it up. Consistency is the big thing when it comes to marketing and prospecting, and it's wonderful to know. Over the weekend, I got a contact from somebody who I made contact with 2 years ago, put them on my LinkedIn profile, sent out a few things, and 2 years later, out of the blue, I get this email. And we're going to be talking this week about seeing how we can help them. And so you got to be working on consistently working things through in your database. Don't miss opportunities. If you're always looking for now business, what happens is you never get those opportunities to have things trickle in. And so that's really important. So action's important. You've got to make an impression. You've got quality questions you're going to have to go through in the discovery process of whatever you're doing. If you look at good marketing material, you'll turn around and you'll find there's a series of different things that they're asking, so that when people read it after their attention's been grabbed, that they can identify with this and say, yes, this is me. This particular person or a company understands what I want. And so they can say, yes, that qualifies me. People want to know if they need to be bothering with this material or not. Now, how will you do that? Well, a great example is my webpage. We have different genres for different market segments that we actually do, and we put on there 4 or 5 different things that it helps people identify whether this is them or not. And we talk about the things that they go through and how they feel when they go through those and some of the concerns they have. So if you are somebody that's reading that page and you're not of that particular profession, you might not identify with all of those different types of things. You might identify with some, but not all of them. And so that's the whole point behind this, is getting people to really identify so they can go, wow, I identify with that. That's really what's going on. And this person, this company gets me. I should really be talking to them. It also helps you establish your qualification as an expert in your industry. When you get people and understand them, they go, wow, we've been talking about rapport way too long. It's really about whether you can connect to the people and help them understand what they're needing. That's important. Your ideal prospect will be the person that you most likely want to work with. So if you don't know who they are, you need to spend some time saying, who do I want to work with? Anybody with a pulse is not a good probable client for somebody that's in the healthcare facility. You're going to want to turn around and get very specific about the client that you're turning around and attracting, so that you know their demographics, you understand what they like, that you understand the kinds of things they say or don't say. You're going to understand their values and the things that are important to them. And out of the end of it, you got to keep track of your results. And why? Well, I'm a results guy, and you got to know that if you're going to do anything, you got to do it so you perform, because the first time you go at it, it's probably not going to work the way you want it to, and you're going to want to turn around and take those results and tweak them over time. So get yourself a marketing manual where you're literally keeping track of your marketing so you know what's working, when it's working, and how it's working. And that'll tell you the truth about what's going on in your marketing. Because sometimes it takes 90 to 120 days after you've done an action, or longer even, before things will work. And sometimes the smallest little tweaks, little additions that you add on, can make the biggest amount of difference. This has been Rich Groff from RG Performance Sales Coaching, Leadership Development. Hope you found this valuable about how to attract yourself good quality leads and put it to use. Have yourself an awesome year.